Okay, the next very big lie that Chung Dahm is going to use to try and deceive you to come and um, teach for them in Korea is the contract that you're going to be given partway through the recruiting process. So this document, which you're going to be given, it's called Agreement for Teaching Services, and this is given to you once they've placed you in a Chung Dahm school. So it's let me just see how many pages. It's it's about 10 or 15 pages long, and it's all the details of your position. And so this looks like a normal contract. And what you need to know about this document is it's not a contract at all. Because there is some clause in here about you have to pass training, um, and that this contract only becomes valid once you pass the training. But as I've said in other videos, um, Changdong will not necessarily give you any significant chance to even pass this training. So until you do actually pass this training, you do not have a job with Changdong Learning. You do not have any sort of job. You do not have any employer in Korea. So this means that if you do come to Korea, um, to work for Chung Dahm Learning, you're coming here as an individual, not as an employee. You're coming very much at your own risk. Uh, this this document has been designed to deceive you because it looks very much like a real contract. So if you have if you're being provided with what looks to be a real contract, you're going to think, well, this is legitimate. This is a legitimate employer. Wrong. This is a document which has been designed to deceive you into thinking that you actually have a job when you're making your way to Korea. You do not actually have a job when you're making your way to Korea until you finish this training. And finishing that training is not actually as easy as it sounds for various reasons. And the main reason I feel is because the recruitment center and the training and the trainers are incompetent. And at the end of the day, everything is up to Changdam, so everything is at their discretion. If they don't if they don't like the look of you, or anything about you, it doesn't matter. It's all up to them, and it's all quite secretive. So they can just tell you that you failed at the end of the training week, and that will be that. You won't have a job, and you have nothing to fight against because they're not actually your employer. I actually challenged this in a Korean court of law, and they said that this contract that Changdam provided me with is null and void. It's little more than an invitation. So when you get this document from Changdam or clips, please be aware that this is really it has the same value as like a wedding invitation or like a birthday invitation. It's not worth the paper it's written on. You can't challenge it in a court of law. It's just a piece of paper. And Changdam does not want you to know this because if they did, if you did know that, I don't think there'd be much chance that you would actually come to Korea to work for them. Because really how this works is that you're actually coming to Korea to try out for Changdam. You're not coming to be trained. You haven't got the position. It's not like you're just having a little bit of initial training after you've actually been accepted into the company. This is actually a final screening process of the recruitment procedure. So do not think of training as something that you have to do just before you start the job. This is actually the final screening process. Changdam will not tell you this, that the way that this is all organized is that it's really more like a screening process. They'll just say, oh no, this is training and you're required to, complete training as part of the job. But the truth of the matter is you don't actually have a job until you finish this training. So this is little more than an interview that you're coming for. If you actually decide to come to Korea to teach for Changdam. It's little more than an interview and like final interview and screening process. So you need to be aware of this contract, which is not actually a contract at all. I challenged it in court. It's not a contract. So you need to be aware of that. The second thing that you need to know about Changdam and this particular contract is that they violate Korean immigration laws with this particular document because according to Korean immigration law, you need to have an employer who sponsors you for your visa, and you need to have a valid working contract, plus various other documents to be able to apply for a work visa. This document, which I have challenged in a Korean court of law, is not a contract. And they have presented this document in a way to look like a contract so that you'll think it's a contract and Korean immigration will think it's a contract and you'll get your visa issued. So that's another thing you need to be aware of, is that they are violating Korean immigration law on a daily basis, I would say, almost. They have a lot of people come and train for them. They have this training session every single week. So there is a lot of counterfeit documents being submitted to Korean immigration on behalf of Chung Dahm Learning.